Welcome to the continuation of self-awareness topic. According to Jim Rohn, words do two major things. They provide food for the mind and create light for understanding and awareness. These are few of the reasons of the existence of the Caring Heart YouTube channel. We hope to provide food for the mind, reach the hearts of those we care for, and spirit of understanding for the things that we do. For part 2 of self-awareness, we again call on Ms. Raquel Antonio, our psychiatric nurse educator, to enlighten us on this matter.
When Joe Harry themselves have identified the area of reactivity as what? The things that are known to you and known to others. So if that is how narrow, kung ganun lang kakitid, no? Kung ganun lang ka, hindi ganun we should be able to know ourselves not inside the box. Okay? Kaya nga tinawag siyang area of free activity, with which we understand that this is a factor, or this is a conglomeration of how we represent ourselves based on how we know and how we adapt and how we accept ourselves in relation, or at the extent of relating ourselves to our initial environment, to our external environment for that matter. So that's the area of free activity. Meaning, later on you will know kung paano ba natin ma-weigh or ma-measure and mag-gauge kung paano ba dapat natin ini-enhance ang learnings or ang depth ng area of free activity. Now, going through the aspect of the third window of our personality, which is the area 3, or the area of bliss, or the area of private life space. This aspect, or this classification or division of our personality, or windows of our personality, as stated by Joe Harry, is that this conglomerates in relation to the area 1 and the area 2. This is when the conflict starts, more particularly if we have lots of reservation, self-preservations, okay, within ourselves, na we try to hide things, more particularly when we come to that stage na pati tayo hindi natin matanggap kung ano man yung mga sekretong meron tayo. So what are these? These are your aspirations that you would like to keep to yourself, and you only choose people para malaman ito. Your dreams, your traumas, your pent-up emotions, the bad memories that you might have, the unresolved conflicts that you might have during the time of your growth and development, and during the non-resolution of your milestone. Well, as we all know, we are the ones who ourselves are the one, we should be the one to find our own set of experiences. Okay, and most of the time we are the ones who, being an individual, being a unique individual, we are the ones who allow ourselves to experience a particular situation condition. And Socrates once quoted that we must know thyself for us to be able to accept and adapt or adjust to that particular scenario or particular situation that we might find ourselves into. More particularly if we understand, or if we are trying to cope, and we get ready in accepting whatever it is that we really would like to present and make aware of in our initial environment. Um, However, Leeds once mentioned that one cannot come to know very much her personality or anything about herself without learning and without knowing oneself, how one's life fits together, or how one defends against experiences. Sometimes if we gain the knowledge of who we are with all of our complexities, the complexities of our personality for that matter, will be one of our goals in a real complex world, on or how we relate. And this is not an intellectual finding or whatsoever, nor it happens overnight. No, it's just it's not just a mere research, but it's more of accepting whatever it is that you see from your external environment, and that is how you relate to your reality. Your external environment would be your reality, in relation to how well you know yourself. And uh, for that matter, any pent up emotions, any hang ups, any problems, any trauma that you might have bulked in with the area 3 or with your subconscious mind may be in contrast with the area 2, which is the area of risk, to the factor that hindi mo makita kung ano ka or sino ka, and you may that's the time that your defense mechanism or the coping mechanism develops. So much so that it adheres to self-preservation, na parang gusto niya lang i-save lagi, because we know and we understand that the defense mechanism, the ego defense mechanism, mental mechanism, coping mechanism are unconscious, and it is automatic. It naturally sets in to preserve the ego. So how does it preserve the ego, or how does the knowledge of your part of your personality, according to Freud's statement or theory, would be able to give you that actual or appropriate form of a coping mechanism, defense mechanism, if that part of your personality is not realistic? Did you get my point? Kung hindi niya alam kung sino ka, when you are opted to madalas kang mabuhay na, oh, kasi si ganito, o kasi si ganyan, kasi you keep on blaming somebody else for whatever situation you might find yourself into. Let me just restate this. Every time we pinpoint to others, no, more particularly the loopholes that we might have, we go like this. I suggest that when you pinpoint to other people, you might want to use the five fingers that you have. That way, it only shows that you are trying to open, unconscious. It is voluntary. It is involuntary rather. The ego or the self doesn't have that knowledge principle to protect or to preserve the the self without using the defense mechanism or the mental mechanism. So what would happen kung hindi mo alam na ito pala, ikaw pala ay vulnerable dito sa area of risk, at masyado mong tinipid yung alam mo sa sarili mo at alam ng tao about you as to your area of free activity or the area 1, what will happen is it will what? It will mutate with the area of risk and the area of private life space. Then, at the same time, this would clash all the time. In every situation or conflict situation you might find yourself into, lagi magka-clash yung area of risk mo na, ay, hindi ko to alam. Ay, itatago ko na lang to kasi alam ko hindi ako ma-accept. Ay, kasi intimidated ako. Look, I am not saying that I am well aware. Okay? Lahat tayo merong ganito. Lahat tayo merong individual differences. Lahat tayo may sekreto. Lahat tayo nagkaroon ng trauma one way or the other. But what would be the probable resolution? Let's go back to area 1. Area of free activity. It's time to unchain yourself. It's time to allow yourself to be free. It's time to ask questions, whether you are not aware and whether you would like to hide things from, because you are unsure, whether you would like to hide things from your external environment because you are unsure that you might not be accepted. Learn to what? Learn to check for feedbacks. That way, yes, ano sabi natin kanina, it may be painful. The process is not easy. Okay? But like what Miss Ford has mentioned, it's a gradual foreseeing of your future self without being attached to the past self. Did you get my point? I hope you did. Kung tapos na, past na yun, kaya nga past eh. So, dito ka ngayon sa future. Ano ba yung dapat mong malaman? Ano bang dapat mong tanggapin? Try to, like what I've said, you give yourself a chance to reflect. Self-reflection with which you want to know an honest evaluation of your own behavior. And make sure that you are prepared in analyzing. Hindi yung lagi ka mag-rush, ay kasi ganito, kasi ganyan, iyan ka na naman dun sa pinpointing mo. Dito ka lang muna, maging selfish ka muna for that matter. Tingnan mo muna ang sarili mo. Ano nga bang nangyayari? Pag tumitingin ka sa salamin, natural, nakafocus ka lang sa mukha mo, di ba? Hindi ka naman tumitingin sa iba. That is how well you prepare yourself to become acceptable to others. When you put your makeup on, nakatingin ka lang sa salamin. hindi ka nakatingin sa iba as to putting your makeup on. Because otherwise, you wouldn't be able to see whether pantay ba ang kilay mo, tama ba yung pagkaka-makeup mo, masyado ba makapal ang blush on mo at lipstick mo. Get my point? I hope you do. Now, another factor that we would like to consider here is the fourth area or fourth window of Johari, which is the area of the unknown. These are the things from the word itself. These are the things that are unknown to you and unknown to others. Perhaps this can be cultivated, okay, with monitoring your self-talk, and the willingness, no, that acceptance to take chances, because this cannot be resolved, okay, or uncovered by a mere form of self-analysis. You would be needing professional help, may it be a psychologist, a psychiatrist, theologist, or a priest. You might want to say, Ma'am, di ba, science and theology, it doesn't combine. Yeah? Really? Saan ba galing ang science? Di ba sa kanya din? As for me, the uncovering of Area 4, which is the area of the unknown, the psychologist or the science helps us to understand the knowledge, but the wisdom as to how well you are going to conglomerate or relate this with your personal life, with your own self, is once you have established your relationship with God. Because siya mismo ang magbibigay ng konsyensya ng yung super ego, which is the guilt conscious or the morality complex.
To summarize Ma'am Raquel's discussion, open or public area are things known to self and others. Blind area or blind self these are unnoticed to self but known to others. People may interpret your personality different from what you expected. Hidden self, this is an area known to self but unknown to others. Examples of this are past experiences, secrets, and traumatic experiences. And the last would be the unknown or mystery self.